Hey everyone, I'm Ro. I'm an engineer here at Modal, and today I want to talk about how we use ClickHouse internally for observability real-time dashboards. Great. So the work I'm presenting is by some of my amazing team members. Just want to highlight them real quick before we get started. So the agenda for today. So I'm going to first talk about what Modal is. So hopefully that explains how we use ClickHouse with that in context. And then we'll go through running a Modal function. We'll talk about why we chose ClickHouse. And we'll go into some of the dashboards and like the technical details associated with that. And then we'll kind of finish with like other applications and future work. OK, so what does Modal do? Modal is essentially an infrastructure platform that lets AI and ML teams run large-scale GPU workloads. We have customers listed some at the bottom here at the slide. And we have a few product areas. So we cover things like inference, training, sandboxes. And we have primitives you can use like queues, volumes, dicks. And our platform has a custom AI container runtime. We're also multi-cloud. And so I guess that means we have thousands of GPUs and CPUs all over the world that you can kind of use. And we have a Python SDK that kind of pairs well with that to run your code. So let's dive into an example. This is a Python file. And at the top, we have an import that says import modal. And throughout this file, we have different sort of modal features that are in use. The first is defining an image. So we're defining some libraries that we want to call in our function, transformers library, and f of mpeg. And then below, we have a function called transcribe. So this is a speech-to-text example. So what we're doing is we're using a whisper model, and we're transcribing some speech to text and outputting it to the console. And for this demo, we have a snippet from MLK's I Have a Dream speech. And so once we've defined everything, we specified our GPU, which is an NVIDIA L40. We can run it using modal run. And so simply run it, and after a few seconds, you can see on the console at the very bottom in the blue, it has the first sentence of the speech. OK, so Modal makes it super easy to run your code on the cloud. But once it's running, a lot of our customers and users care about how that code is doing. Are there issues? Or are there things we need to debug? So as a company, we also care a lot about observability for our customers. And so that requires us to build integrated logging, full visibility of our functions and containers, and other sort of workflows. So this kind of brings us to why ClickHouse. I'm going to start with a story that started about over 2 years ago. One of the first things we built was a logs view. And so we have these modal apps that run in containers, and they sort of pipe standard out and standard error to our log store. And eventually, the website will show these logs for your app. And at that time, we started running into scaling issues with writes and reads. So we kind of sat down and we're like, OK, what do we do? We thought about building a solution ourselves, but we also saw around that time that ClickHouse Cloud was rolling out. And we heard really good things about the tool. So we decided to give it a go. Yeah, turns out ClickHouse is super fast, and we were all very impressed. So I have a screenshot here of our logs table. And I scan over 100 million rows with a light query where I'm just looking for logs that match the string error. And we can do that in less than 4 seconds. And I guess what that gives us is we get instant search. So we can just pass a search text as a filter in the where clause. And then on the front end, for our customers, we give them this instant search feature. Kind of my Modal fun fact is about 2 years ago, this was like the first feature I built and my first experience with ClickHouse. So yeah, it was great. And we have a P50 of 230 milliseconds. I was just curious, so I just did a count. And currently, this table has about 500 billion logs in it. Okay, so I want to walk through 3 different views that are powered by ClickHouse. The first is our function page. Here you can kind of see how a function is scaling. So this is a particular function for our coding agent demo. And you can see over time how many function calls are being run. And the table has rows with columns that give you things like the start time, the cold start latency, and the completion status. So you can see a bunch of them have completed successful and one's currently running. Our second view I'm sharing is our timeline, which shows the life cycle of a single function call. So for a single function, at the bottom here, you can kind of see 3 sections. The first is how long that function call spent in queue. So when you run modal run or something like that, it's sent to the queue. It's here for about 200 milliseconds. And then a container cold starts, and that takes about 1.5 seconds. And then the execution's around 2.76 seconds. Another thing we have, another view, is function performance metrics. Like I said, our customers really care about how their functions are doing in production. So they want to be able to see if their end-to-end latency goes up, why is that happening? So we also drill down a little bit, and we'll show them their execution time and queue time on the left. And on the right, we have CDF plots. So you can kind of see, OK, the P99 here is less than 1 second. And that kind of gives you like a high-level overview of how your function's running. So, OK, I showed you 3 views. And I guess my kind of reveal here is they're all from a single ClickHouse table. And I guess that's really impressive to us because at Modal, we try to keep things operationally simple. We want to be able to move fast, but we care a lot about reliability. So we don't want too many moving parts. So I'm going to dig into the table a little bit. This is our events table. We have a primary key, so I know I put a lot on this slide, but let's focus on the primary key first. So we have a function ID, that's like the function. We have a function call ID, so those are all the function calls associated with the function. And then we have an event at, so that's the timestamp of the event that we sent. So we kind of have a streaming architecture where we send events to our system and throughout our system. And so we have different events, and what's interesting here is every event is sort of like a partial row. So the enqueued at, sort of the queued event, will only have the enqueued at field populated, but not necessarily the other fields like the started at, the finished at, or the status. And so each row kind of represents a different event, and some of those fields may be populated and some might not be. Another thing that we use that's part of this table is the replacing merge tree, which is very convenient for streaming architectures because, for example, let's say we send an event twice by mistake. Now we'll only use the latest version of that event based on the primary key. And kind of the final thing that kind of like makes all this work and makes the table versatile is the function call ID is a ULID. For those that don't know, a ULID is a universally unique lexicographically sorted identifier. What that basically means is the IDs are sorted. So you can do range queries using the primary key on this table. That leads to efficient queries. So we can pass a single function call ID, or we can pass a range of them. So going back to the views, kind of connecting this together. We use a group by, so we'll do a group by on the function call ID. We'll look at all the events for that particular function call. And so that's how we kind of get all these rows that you see on the table below. So if you have 10 rows, that's like 10 function calls. And to get the status for them, we use this aggregating function called argmaxif, which is really, really handy for event workloads. What it does is argmaxif looks at all the events, right? And the if kind of says, only look at the finished at if it's populated. So only consider those events. So that's kind of saying only look at the finished events. And then what argmax is doing is look at the maximum value of the event at timestamp. So look at the latest event. And so then we look at the status field relative to that. What that means is we get the latest status. And this is really cool. So let's say we have like 10 events. One of them where our function call failed, and so the status is a failure, but then later on down the line, it succeeded. will show succeeded in the dashboard eventually because we're looking at the latest event at. And then finally, I mentioned this earlier, but we filter by this ULID range for performance. So we'll look at the start timestamp and the end timestamp, and we'll map them to ULIDs, which is a pretty straightforward function. So back to the function call timeline, very simple, very similar. We just throw a bunch of argmax ifs in there, and we kind of get the different breakpoints you kind of see in this life cycle. What's different here is that we look at a specific function call ID. And again, this is in the primary key, so this is a very fast lookup. And kind of our final query here is the metrics query. So here's just a queue time example. We look at the started at minus and queued at. So that's kind of the difference when we threw it into the queue and finally when it started. So that's our queue time. And then we use some aggregating functions to calculate things that users care about. Users care about the P50, the P90, the P99, the average, and things like that. And then here we only look at completed events to kind of get accurate measurements. Super simple diagram I kind of made by hand on draw.io here. But our modal server processes these events and sends them to Kafka, which we then send to ClickPipes, which structures and shapes them and batches them and sends them to our ClickHouse table, our events table, and then eventually we query that table and send it. Users will kind of query that table from modal.com. OK, some numbers. So we have 19 terabytes of events ingested so far and growing. We have 1 million events per minute today. Actually, today I actually checked, it's 2 million events per minute, so we're growing pretty fast. And then our dashboard function calls query kind of the latency. The P50 starts at around like 170 milliseconds, and it kind of climbs to 1,500 milliseconds. And I guess we're starting to think about performance. There's certain edge cases that we want to improve. I should mention, I didn't mention earlier, but when I said single table for these 3 views, I truly meant that. We don't use indexes or projections or materialized views. And now we're starting to optimize things to get better latency for our customers. Yeah, other applications. So I mostly talked about the dashboards, but we use ClickHouse for many things. We use it for billing. We use it for offline product analysis. So like our data team will use it to understand how customers are using our product. We use it for internal observability, so understanding what's going on with their infrastructure. We use it for tracking fraud events. And some of our SDK functions will call it as well. And then future work. So I mentioned performance improvements. We're working on scaling things. We're working on a billing API, which is really cool. So you can pass in a time range and different object IDs. And you can say, like, for this function, on this day, for this range of function calls, how much did that cost me? So giving very granular observability for billing. And then we have 2 visualizations here, again, making it super easy for customers to understand how their code's running in the cloud. Yeah, that's all I got. So if that's interesting, we're hiring. You can check out modal.com careers. But thanks for hearing me out. Thanks so much. Yeah.